Welcome into another Running with the Timberwolves podcast on the Believe Sports Network. My name is Gabe Anderson, and it's 12:17 at night, literally past the middle of the night. And your Minnesota Timberwolves just beat the Los Angeles Lakers for the fourth time in 5 games, and they are moving on to the second round of the playlist. I really debated even doing this I was obviously going to do a podcast at some point. But I was debating doing one tonight because it's so late. I got to be up in 5 hours. I work early at a school, but I had to put out something. So these are just going to be my raw thoughts on the game. Not a lot of in-depth. This is more free form. We'll get into the in-depth stats and the in-depth series analysis with Chris later on this week. So keep it tuned to Running with the Timberwolves for the best playoff coverage. But man, I just had to get out some feelings, and I just had to celebrate this victory. And where do you got to start? With Rudy Gobert. I mean, the best performance that I've ever seen him in a playoff game. Usually in a game against LeBron and Luka, and your leading scorer is Rudy Gobert, that's probably not that great of sign of how the game went. But I mean, Rudy Gobert, 27 points, 12 for 15 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, 9 offensive rebounds. 9 offensive rebounds. He almost had a double-double with offensive rebounds. He finishes with 15 on the night. And Chris Finch basically said, if you're not going to play Jackson Hayes, if you're not going to play any big guys, we're going to punish you. That's what Rudy did all night tonight. He punished them on the boards. He punished them with little lobs attacking the zone. The Lakers went to a zone in the first and second quarter, and we just dominated it, particularly in the first quarter. Jane got a dunk. Rudy got some dunks, and it was just domination of that zone. Yes, and I agree with Jared Good. We do deserve this. As Wolves fans, we've been through so much crap. I mean, I could be talking about where I think Dante Cunningham fits in to the ongoing lineup. I could be talking about, do we have something in Alexei Shved? Those were past conversations we could have had with the recent history of the Minnesota Timberwolves. But no, we get to have these conversations now. And it is an awesome thing. The Wolves, I mean, they were in foul trouble all night. Jaden McDaniels follows out. Rudy Gobert was in foul trouble as well. He had 4. Julius Randle had 4. I mean, a lot of fouls tonight. Jaden was in foul trouble all night. Couldn't hit many shots when we needed him. Still finished with 8 points. A lot of that was at the free throw line. But how about this? The Wolves shot, and this shocks me, 14.9% from 3, and we won the game. How many games can you say that about? And the Wolves only shot 40% from the field, and a lot of that was all of those offensive rebounds, all of those second chance points, those second chance opportunity. I mean, there was that one possession early on in the first quarter where I think the Wolves, they didn't end up scoring, but I think they had 5 or 6 shots on one possession. Just getting after the boards. An interesting move by JJ Redick to not play Jackson Hayes, or at least try, or at least throw him out there. It sounded like JJ Redick literally said before the game, I'm not playing Jackson Hayes, which is a weird move. It's a weird move to tip off the other team to say, I'm not playing this guy. And I wonder for the Lakers, I've been saying this all series, why not, particularly towards down the stretch, why not throw out Dalton Connect? And I saw something funny. Mark Williams of the Charlotte Hornets, of course, they tried to trade Dalton Connect for Mark Williams, and it fell through. He tweeted just a smiley face. I think he knew he could have been of use in that series, much more than Dalton Connect, who I think had 5 points in garbage time in one game. I think the Lakers, if they were going to make a run this year, are going to look back at that Mark Williams. I'm not saying that they beat the Wolves or anything. I'm just saying they look back at that non-Mark Williams trade as a big swing and a miss, a huge swing and a miss for the Los Angeles Lakers. And you could see it, the Lakers, they were just breaking down. Luka almost got hurt. You could tell he was not at 100%. LeBron kind of crashed into Dante DiVincenzo. He got hurt in that game. But the player that didn't get hurt, the player that made the biggest shots of the season so far, was the old man, Mike Conley. The Lakers go down, they get a 3, cut the lead to 3. And then Mike Conley in the corner, after an ant drive, lights it up. The old man, Minnesota Mike, gets it done and puts the Wolves up 6, and it was all roses from there. And you got to credit Julius Randle as well. Huge in the fourth quarter and throughout the game. He was in foul trouble as well, but got it going in the second half. 23 points, 8 for 16. And it felt like when Anthony Edwards, who was not good in this game, not good at all. In fact, he didn't hit a single 3. Another thing. When was the last time the Wolves won a game where Anthony Edwards goes 0 for 11 from 3? I would probably expect that that's never happened before. I would doubt that has ever happened. He went 5 from 19 from the field. Still got involved, though. Did have a double-double, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Just was not hitting on the night. But it felt like Julius Randle was attacking the paint when Ant wasn't. And it almost looked like a couple of possessions down the stretch, Ant was deferring to Julius Randle because it was hot, because he was attacking Luka Doncic. And the Lakers are going to have a problem going forward, man. I know Luka's a great talent. I know maybe he wasn't at 100% in this series. I know game 3, he was under the weather. He was kind of banged up tonight as well. But they're going to have a problem with Luka on defense. And I'm not saying that Mavs fans should forgive Nico Harrison at all. I'm not saying that at all. But like I saw somebody put in our group chat, I think the Lakers, this particular series, had a better chance with Anthony Davis. And that may just be their matchup with the Wolves, maybe a little height. Maybe they would have given Rudy a little more trouble tonight and down the stretch, and paint points wouldn't be as plentiful. But man, I'm just saying, for this series at least, Anthony Edwards might have been the better one to go with than Luka Doncic, which is crazy to think. And now, again, it wasn't all roses for Dallas either. I mean, they got humiliated in the play-in on that second game. So, but man, we got to talk about the Wolves tonight. Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert leading the way. Dante DiVincenzo still making things happen, even though his shot wasn't going. And that's the thing. So many players weren't hitting shots. It was crazy. But the Wolves were still able to play they held the Lakers once again to under 100 points. That's 3 out of 5 games we've held the Lakers to under 100 points. And in game 3, we held them to 104. So pretty close. I mean, the Lakers had a hard time scoring. I want to go through, but I don't think, I'll look here, but I don't think the Lakers in a fourth quarter, and now I know it's the playoffs, so the defense ramps up. I don't think they scored more than 20 points one time, which that tells you the story right there. We knew going in that the Lakers struggled in the fourth quarter, which is crazy because they have 2 closers. They have Luka and LeBron. And you would think that's where they would thrive. And with how bad, I know I've said in this podcast before, with how bad the Wolves have been in clutch, and it's been over and over and over talked about. The Wolves were better in the clutch. They just were better all series. Now, they weren't perfect. I mean, it took the Wolves a while, and some of the 22 tonight in the fourth quarter were free throw related. So that helped boost it a little bit. At least 3 of those points were free throw related when the Lakers were hacking and trying to hack and get back into the game. But Man, just the defense in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Wolves only scored 44 points in the second half after scoring 59 in the first. And it's crazy, the anomalies. The numbers, if you look at the numbers, the shooting, the points in the second half, you wouldn't think the Wolves won this game. And they wouldn't have. I don't think you have those numbers against Luka and Dallas last year. I don't think you win that game. I don't think you win the series at all. But I do want to mention for the Wolves, how about this? Durant, check. Booker, check. Jokic, check. Luka, check. LeBron, check. And in the words of Goldberg, who's next? Who's next? Now, it's looking like it might be Steph Curry. It might be Jimmy Butler. Oh, man. Could you imagine? First of all, if we play the Warriors, we have home court advantage. Now, I know it seems like we play better on the road in the playoffs, but, I mean, we just won 2 home games, so that's what it says about that. But we'd have home court advantage. It'd be a 6 versus a 7. I don't know. I don't have the stats, but I don't know how many times that's happened in NBA history where a 6 played a 7 in the second round of the playoffs. And if it's the Rockets, I almost like that better. I like that matchup. But we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get into that. We'll talk. Me and Chris, we'll have some guests on as well. We're going to have some fun going forward. But tonight, we just got to celebrate this win. And let's take a look at some of the counting stats here. Turnovers pretty even, 13 to 15 points off turnovers. Again, the Wolves win that 16 to 11. But again, all series, 56 points in the paint for the Wolves, 40 for the Lakers. That's really a huge difference in this game. And then rebounds, 54 to 37, 18 offensive rebounds for the Wolves. And again, Rudy Gobert had 9 of them. He almost had a double-double with offensive rebounds. And it's interesting when a team has a glaring problem and their answer is Maxi Kleber. Maxi Kleber, who hasn't even practiced, I think they said, with the Lakers. Just clean off the bench. You could tell on that play where he stepped out of bounds. You could tell his foot was out of bounds like the whole time, even before they passed him the ball. And then he stepped backwards, definitely out of bounds on that. So JJ Redick, he went into his bag, so to speak, and he pulls out Maxi Kleber. I would have gone like Dalton Connect, see if he can get hot, see if he can hit some threes, see if he can hit anything. I mean, why not? I mean, LeBron, what did he have? 3 points in the fourth quarter, maybe a couple more. He had 0 points last time. Laker fans got to be wondering the future of this team. Now, obviously, Laker fans are going to say, oh, we'll get Giannis or we'll get name player here or who, Beal, or I don't know if Beal's the answer there, but obviously the Laker will go big game hunting at some point, particularly with Luka Doncic. But this is about the Wolves tonight. Just with all the crap that the Wolves have been through, just with all the terrible years, the terrible teams. I mean, this is only the third time? Yeah, third time in team history that we have won a first-round series. And 2 of them have included Anthony Edwards. And 1 of them included Kevin Garnett. And this, what a night for the Minnesota Timberwolves to go into LA. The crowd was rocking. Now, the Lakers, they gotta be fuming. They gotta be fuming watching the Warriors up 3-2. And then if the Clippers win as well, them and the Sacramento are the only 2 California teams not in the second round. Now, I know the Clippers are down 3-2. But still, if they come back and win that series, a lot of people think that they will. Man, it's a tough time to be a Laker fan. It's a great time to be a Wolves fan. And how about not panicking? Again, we saw the Lakers even take the lead in the fourth quarter like they did in game 3. And the Wolves go on a run. They go on a run. They get it done. And just put the Lakers away. Didn't even give Luka and LeBron a chance to close. Didn't even give him a chance. Because of clutch shooting, clutch play from Julius Randle. Naz Reid didn't even have it going tonight. He was in foul trouble all night long. Did not have it going tonight whatsoever. Dante didn't have it going tonight. Again, 7 for 47 from 3. And again, you don't win many games when you shoot 7 of 47. Now, I will say one thing for Naz Reid, 21 minutes, 3 points. He did have 3 big blocks, and Rudy had 2 blocks. And Rudy and Naz were Rudy, I should say, was just an animal tonight. Just an animal. And that's what, when your star isn't hitting, you got to have other guys step up. And I think that's what the Wolves have been missing in the past. That guy out of nowhere that comes up and plays big. And Rudy Gobert wasn't really a factor all series, but man, he got it done tonight. 27 points, 9 offensive rebounds, 24 rebounds. I know I said 15, 24 rebounds tonight. That's a lot of roast beef for my No Dunks fans out there. Now, I know this wasn't probably the most inquisitive podcast you've listened to. I just had to, at 12:30 at night, go on here and talk about the Wolves getting past the Lakers. And what's great is I had plans on Saturday or Sunday if there was going to be a game 7. I was going to go golfing and I didn't want to miss it. So now I can go golfing, which is fantastic. But anyway, I'm tired. I'm extremely tired. It's 12:30 at night. I got to edit this. But hey, thank you so much for listening to Running with the Timberwolves. Make sure to give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and or Apple. And as of today, we're also on TuneIn. We're also on Amazon Music as well. We're also on iHeartRadio. So basically, your favorite streaming service for music and podcasts, we're probably on it. So make sure to stick with us for the playoffs because we got some big things in store. This is the Running with the Timberwolves podcast on the Believe Sports Network. Wolves in 5. Have a good night. Go Wolves.